Hello guys, welcome to Odds on Bundesliga. We are gonna analyze the German Championship that is starting next Friday, and we have together with us Radek Vegas, an expert in Bundesliga. So let's go and analyze what are the best tips we can give you for this first week of Bundesliga, and of course some long-term markets that you can enjoy now. Hello, we are today with Radek Vegas in our show Odds on Bundesliga on oddspedia.com. So we are very happy. I'm sure even Radek is happier because next weekend or next Friday Bundesliga is starting with a very good game actually. Bayern Munich Schalke, and we have the champion again in action. The first thing I want to ask you, if we check at the odds of the Bundesliga, of course Bayern is big favorite, 115, and Bayern has won the last 8 Bundesligas in a row. Do you think is there any chance for Dortmund, Leipzig to surprise us?
Yeah, that's the definition of surprise. Nobody expected, so it would be a surprise, and everyone hopes it, especially me, because it's kind of boring always to have clear standings, and yeah, everyone in Germany besides the hardcore Bayern fans are hoping that we have a surprise at the end of the season, and I think it's very hard. To be honest, I don't believe in a surprise because you see Bayern is not only the best team in Germany, they are the best in Europe, maybe the best in the world, and why should this change dramatically within one season? Maybe the players are fed up now, they are satisfied with the Champions League win, they reached the most important goal, so they can switch back some gears, but I don't think so. They are too professional to let it go.
Actually, there were more options last year, no? I mean, until Christmas, let's say, we had a very entertaining Bundesliga, I would say, with many changes in the top. Then Flick took over the job and the title is over, so it's even more clear, no? I would say that this year Bayern is way better, and we haven't seen a lot of changes in the transfer market.
Yes, I think last year before the season everyone said, oh, Dortmund made transfers for 200 million euro. They bought people like I don't even remember now, Julian Brandt is one, but yeah, they invested 200 million euro last year, and then Bayern Munich didn't do quite the same. And in the half of the season, Dortmund made the perfect transfer with Haaland, but after all, they were too unexperienced, they were too young, and not that team chemistry which Hansi Flick built with Bayern Munich within the second half of the season. And the only reason why Bayern was struggling in the first half of the season was that there was a conflict in the team between the coach and some very important player like Boateng and Müller, and after Flick took over, it was quiet again. Müller became one of the best players in Germany again, and yeah, the end of the story was a great success with 3 titles in this year.
So, like usually or the last years, we are not gonna have fun, or there is no interest actually on betting in the long-term run for the Bundesliga champion. There might be more interest on betting in the top 4, who is gonna finish in the Champions League spot. Last season there were a fight until the end with Gladbach and Bayern Leverkusen, and we take for granted, of course, Bayern is gonna qualify, also Dortmund, and we have Leipzig with odds 145, I guess should be also qualified, now you tell me, and then we have Gladbach 185 and Leverkusen 2.25. These are, I guess, the 5 that are gonna fight, no, in the top 4.
Yeah, who is following our German channel knows that we are always searching for equal odds, fair odds around 2.0. And if you are below, there is hard to find some value, you know. If you have odds like 1.45 on Leipzig, you hardly win something if it happens, but you lose a lot if it happens not. So the risk is too high to bet on this case. Even if you're sure that Leipzig will make it, then you can do it, but I won't do that. On the other hand, you have, in my opinion, pretty low odds on Gladbach. Last year I said every game day I think Leverkusen is the way more better team, but at the end Gladbach had a lot of luck to finish in the Champions League. This season I say the same. Leverkusen, despite Havertz moved away, is still the way better team than Gladbach, and I think that Gladbach is now in the Champions League is a disadvantage in the Bundesliga for them, and that's why the best bet in this case would be on Leverkusen, because I think they have the power, the team, a good offensive coach, and I think they can finish up in the Champions League.
We have 225 for Leverkusen. 225, so it's like around the 2.0 we're talking about.
More to win, less to lose. So I think this bet is better than on the other teams here.
And another good one I always want to check is the top scorer one. In the Bundesliga, it's actually there is not much emotion, like La Liga is always Leo Messi, in Bundesliga is always Robert Lewandowski. Last year he scored 34 goals, but this year we are gonna have the first full season for Haaland, and actually the odds are really high. It's like 5.0. Do you see him like battling at least 34 goals are a lot. So if Lewandowski keeps his level, I think it's gonna be very complicated, but do you see any chance there?
Yeah, depends on the odds on Lewandowski, but I think
1.50.
Yeah, the same here. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to say that Lewandowski would be under the 3 top scorers, but chances are that he might get injured. He might get kind of fed up as well, because he reached his long-term goal to win the Champions League. Maybe he's gonna be even the best footballer in the world with the Ballon d'Or. My opinion about that is a bit different, because if you watch closer, Lewandowski seems to disappear in all important games. The goals in the final goal was Coman. The goal in the half-finals were other people. Only Lewandowski scored the 3rd goal against Lyon, I think. And so and also in the quarterfinals against Barcelona, the door opener from other people's, and the Lewandowski goals were just in the second half, I think. So that's a point. He's a brilliant striker, one of the best, without doubting. But I think he's not the go-to guy in the most important games, and that is not happening only this season. That was in every Champions League season before. He disappeared somewhere in the half and in the finals. And but in the Bundesliga for sure he is always good for 20 goals. But on the other hand, I like the odds on Haaland, because you saw what this young guy was able to do within half a season. And
even with Norway recently with his national team, so he's back from holidays really fit. He looks really fit, really strong, and I guess it's gonna be, it's his first full season, right, in Borussia Dortmund, so it's his time to really shine.
Yeah, the only problem could be, as we had with Paco Alcácer as well, he's not so the defenders adapt on his style to act, and maybe that's a point. He's new, he's fresh, he comes from the bench, he makes goals. But if he's playing, the defenders know how he's playing. He's fast as hell, but that's not the case that he scores every time. You can compare it with Kylian Mbappe in Paris. He's a very fast player, and he's a brilliant striker as well, but the more he plays, the less he scores. So maybe it will be a different face of Haaland if he everyone knows this super kid and they play double as good against him. But anyway, the odds of 5.0 are way better than to bet on Lewandowski here.
And if we check good odds actually in the long-term run in the Bundesliga, we have the market to finish bottom, which I kind of like. And we have Bielefeld is the lower odds. They are newly promoted now, 3.50. Then we have Augsburg, 5.50. Union Berlin, 5.50 also. And then it's Mainz, 8.0. Werder Bremen, that they were struggling a lot last year, 13.0. So if bettors are interested in higher odds markets, actually this is a very good one.
I would say yes, always the teams from the second league who moved up or have the bad cards. But indeed, there are some stats who say that it's easier to hold the class in the first year than in the second year after coming into the first league. So this would speak for a surprise for Bielefeld and maybe Stuttgart as well. I don't know the odds of Stuttgart, but I think Stuttgart is almost equal in this bottom with Mainz.
15.0. No, 15.0 actually. Yeah, they are trusting him. Yeah. Then let's stay with Bayern Leverkusen to finish top 4 and with Haaland for top scorer as a long-term run. And let's focus now on the new games. We have the first game is on Friday, and we have the champion Bayern Munich with Schalke. That last year they were actually pretty bad, and we've seen like the market has been very quiet in all the countries. I would say only in the Premier League was exciting. It's the only country where they have money. So we haven't seen many new faces. We are not going to see many new faces. For Bayern, we have Sané, of course, 80 million. And with Schalke, Ibisevic. And I don't know where can you find value in this game with the Bayern odds to be 1.16, of course. I don't know what you think. Yeah.
No, I'm not betting on winners. I'm always betting on Asian handicap, and if the odds on the favorites are so low as they are on Bayern Munich, I think it's smarter to have a look at the underdog. Maybe Asian handicap +2 on Schalke, but on the other hand, to be honest, Schalke was really bad, you said, in the second half of the last season, because in the first few games they had the chance to become first in the standings, and they lost a game and one game after the other. They have a very young team. They didn't spend a lot of money in new players. The only player they bought is a 36-year-old striker with Vedat Ibisevic, but is still a good one. But yeah, he's always getting a lot of red cards, and he's always getting a lot of injuries, so that is not really a game changer. So maybe the young players can learn a lot of him from him. That would be a good thing. In this game especially, there's no value to bet on Bayern Munich and no value to bet on Asian handicap -1.5 or 2 on Bayern Munich. if I don't see any value, I don't bet, or I have a look at goals here. The common thing would be to bet on over 2.5 goals. That's, I think, is the most popular bet on every sports better. And
we have nothing here actually. Yeah, it's 124 only.
Yeah, and that is always a reason to bet against, because if the mass would be right, there wouldn't be any sports betting. That's why the sports books make only money, because a lot of people don't know how to bet and to bet on the right things, and that's why Oddspedia is here to compare odds. I think maybe under 3.5 goals would be the most interesting thing for me here.
We have 2.45 actually if we check on oddspedia.com, so it's good.
Yeah, and on under 2.5 is a very bit too low, but under 3.5 goals means you win if there are only 3 goals, like 3-0 for Bayern, 2-1 for Bayern. It has to be odds around 1.6, 1.7.
Then let's check what other games we have on Saturday. We have Cologne Hoffenheim here. With actually very high odds for all the outcomes.
Yeah, how to say, we now had the first round of the cup, and Hoffenheim struggled a lot. They almost lost. They needed to shoot out against a team from the 3rd or 4th league. I really was not impressed of Hoffenheim. On the other hand, Köln made a good game against a team from the 4th or 5th league. I even never heard before, Altglienicke or something. And yeah, the odds are almost equal here, and maybe you can expect that this will be a draw, but just to have the cup game in mind, Hoffenheim was weak, Köln was strong. Maybe there is more value to bet on Cologne, but clearly first game day in every case is kind of unpredictable.
Yeah, we saw it recently actually with Premier League and La Liga. Then also same time frame, Eintracht, Arminia Bielefeld, their debut in the Bundesliga.
Yeah, the Eintracht also had problems in their cup game against third league team TSV 1860 Munich.
They signed Andrés Silva, very interesting actually move in the market. 24 million they paid for Andrés Silva to Milan. It's a lot of money. Yeah?
Yes, and that's a kind of the problem of Eintracht Frankfurt. They had really brilliant, good players, and they managed to qualify for the Europa League. And if somebody pays some money for players, they send them away and they have to start from zero again. Yeah, they should win against Bielefeld for sure, but the odds are not very attractive with 1.6 on Frankfurt. And yeah, Bielefeld is new in the league. Why not start with a surprise here? I don't know. Maybe it's a draw, or look at the Asian handicap of +1 on Bielefeld. It should be around 2.5 or something.
Okay, then we have a team that another game that especially Union Berlin did very well last year. Union Berlin, Augsburg. Also very high odds for both teams, but Union Berlin playing at home. They are favorites. I guess this is gonna be an important game, maybe in the long term, not to avoid future problems, to avoid relegation. Two teams that should be down.
Yeah, there are two teams you mentioned who comparing about the bottom in the league. And yeah, the first game day between these two should be kind of decisive in which direction the team will go in the season. And I don't think there is really a home advantage because there are too few spectators. I'm not sure if there will be about 500 or 1,000 spectators be allowed or no spectators still. On the other hand, I don't see Union Berlin that much stronger than Augsburg here to bet on Union Berlin. On the other hand, they signed Max Kruse, which I really like as a player, not that much as a human, but I think he's a really strong player. And so he could be a key player for Union Berlin in this season. I'm very looking forward to see if he can make a difference here. But in this game, just to judge the odds, I think the odds on Union Berlin are way too low. And I would prefer Augsburg, but on the other hand, Augsburg was not a good team last season, so no bet here.
All right. Then we have two classics of Bundesliga. Werder Bremen, who were struggling until the end last season, and Hertha Berlin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Hertha is one of the, I think, the only team from the first league who lost their cup game in the first row against a minor team, and everyone expects Hertha to step up because they have a rich investor who spent millions in developing the team. But on the other hand, Werder Bremen was very lucky not to go down last year. I think without the cup game in mind, I would say Hertha is a bit stronger here. So the odd of 2.5 on a win on Hertha would be a bit more attractive, but still be careful.
Then let's move forward to the next one. Stuttgart coming back to the Bundesliga. We all remember Mario Gomez, no? For instance, with Stuttgart t-shirt. And Freiburg.
Yeah, Gomez retired now, and that's
Querida, even what a club, no? Stuttgart, they have to be in the Bundesliga.
Yeah, for sure. But I think they will struggle a bit. And in this game, I don't understand the odds because Stuttgart is new in the league and has odds of 2.2 for a win. On the other hand, we have one of the biggest surprisings last year, Freiburg, who almost managed to qualify for the European competitions, and Freiburg with odds of 3.1 is way more attractive than betting on a new team in the first league like Stuttgart. On the other hand, this is a derby. The clubs are not far away from each other, so both are situated in Baden-Württemberg in southern Germany.
And the last one on Saturday, very interesting one. This one, I would say, at least, I don't know from the betting perspective, you will tell me from the football fan, it is Borussia Dortmund Mönchengladbach. I'm sure you would say the name much better than I do.
Oh no, no, it was perfect. Borussia versus Borussia. Do you know what Borussia means?
No, actually no.
Prussian. It's like the empire in the history of Germany. Before Germany was Nazis, they were Prussians, and Borussia is another word for Prussians. And
you have to tell us German in all our shows, some German culture we can apply to the odds knowledge also.
Yeah, but in this case, it's a derby as well. They are close to each other in the northwest of Germany, and last season Dortmund was for sure the better team. I already told that for me Gladbach is not a Champions League team. I always will repeat that, and in this case I expect Dortmund to win.
The signings, is not really appealing. I mean, they signed Bellingham from Birmingham, They paid 26 million. Emre Can, who is he knows very well Bundesliga, and then Menier. This is a very good signing in my opinion, for free from PSG, and then a youngster like Reinier from Real Madrid that seen the good result of Ashraf Hakimi, for instance, no? Last year could be interesting signing. So they haven't bought a lot of stuff as well.
Yeah, as Bayern former manager Uli Hoeneß said before of the last season, Dortmund spent some money to buy interesting players. If they are a good team now, we will see. And we saw they weren't as good as Bayern. And this is the case. I think the transfers were good, and they should win against Gladbach here for sure. Yeah, the odds are not very interesting, but I think I think Dortmund is the better team.
And then on Sunday we have the last two games. We have Leipzig, the surprise of the Champions League, or one of the surprises of the Champions League, with Olympique Lyon against Mainz.
Yeah, Leipzig won their cup game 3-0 against second league team Nürnberg, and Mainz won against fourth league team Havelse 5-0 or 5-1. Coach Achim Bayerlotzer of Mainz was watching the game of Leipzig, and maybe he saw some problems of Leipzig in the scoring area, because they had a lot of chances and missing chances, but anyway they won 3-0. They have a very, very good team, even if Werner moved to Chelsea. I think. Oh yeah, and this one, I tell you, this one is I thought he's really awesome. I watched him some games at Salzburg last year. He was very good, but in the first cup game he was also brilliant.
And the last one, Wolfsburg, Bayern Leverkusen, who's the Champions League spot, get out of their hands at the very last moment, and we see quite high odds for both outcomes. Actually, for Wolfsburg we have 2.95 and Bayern Leverkusen 2.59, and the draw is 3.64.
Yes, I think the odds on Leverkusen are attractive. Wolfsburg is a kind of a mixture. On a good day they can beat or compete with good teams. On a bad day they lose with 4 goals against them. And I don't know where the way is going for Wolfsburg. They are always close to the European spots, but I think there's a bit difference to Leverkusen, because last year Wolfsburg only made a lot of points because of Wout Weghorst, because their attacker from Netherlands made a lot of goals, I think 15 or 16, and if he didn't score, Wolfsburg didn't make too much points. And from the whole chemistry in the team, I think Leverkusen is better because they are sponsored by a chemistry firm like Bayer,
Then that's it, Radek. We have a lot of games to enjoy this weekend and a lot of bets to make after listening to your picks. So thank you very much, and we will enjoy again the Bundesliga as always. Unfortunately, we are not gonna have fans in the stadiums, as you said, or all the stadiums full, as we are always very happy to see in Bundesliga, but we are gonna have the action back.
Yeah, I'm looking forward. And one last tip is that just watch the first 3 game days without betting too much, because you don't have the informations, because every team is kind of a bit new than last season, so it's always hard to find value here. And if you want to bet, then bet less and have a good time.
See you.
Bye.
So now you have a lot of information to bet on the Bundesliga. So if you like the video, please thumbs up, give us a like, and do not forget to click on the subscribe button, and of course click on the bell to get notifications. Also, just to remind you that we have a Spotify channel. You can subscribe to our videos and listen to all our podcasts. We will be back next week with all the Bundesliga information for you. See ya.